this is who I am. You're going to see video from me. I don't have any special background. I've got my iPad sitting up here. I got my content here, and I'm just going to give you the information, and you have to respond for yourself. This is where at the end of each one of these videos, you should be taking notes, and you should be writing these things down. You should be thinking about these things every day, because it's all about you. It's all about how you're going to grow, how you're going to be, what's your goals, what's your dreams, what's your why. See, I get fired up. What's your personality type? What do you say, think, feel, react, respond, how you hear things, how you look at things? That's all based on your personality style. There's 4 personality types out there, and here's another thing about it. What do you think about this? What do you get mad at, and why do you get mad and lose control? Or do you have that personality? Why you question people so much? Do you question people all the time? You're always asking questions. Why? Why do you push yourself harder than others push themselves? That's because of your personality. It's because of how you're wired. Why can't I handle constructive criticisms? Can you handle constructive criticisms? Does it break your heart, or does it push you? Do you break it down and figure it out, or do you just not care? Why can't I keep my mouth shut and just listen? Do you talk too much? Are you a rubber lipper? Are you always talking? Are you always talking like you have 2 of these versus 1 of these and 2 of these? Look at what we have. In the top left, it says D. A D-type personality is outgoing and task. I-type personality is outgoing and people-oriented. Then bottom right, you got an S-type personality that's people-oriented and reserved. And then finally, on the bottom left side of the circle, you've got a C personality that's task-oriented and reserved. So you're going to find out that you're one of these, but you'll also realize that you're more than just one of these, that you have a main personality, a secondary, and then you sometimes see little bits of all 4. But here's the cool thing. When you're done with this series of videos, you're going to realize something about yourself, and it's also going to teach you something about other people, why they do, say, think, act, feel, respond, hear, and react the way they do to you. For your spouse, your family, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your teammates, people you know, people you don't know, people you're working with. If you know what their personality is, you can learn how to work with them better. A guy that I follow, a mentor, I call him one of my dads that I listened to on CD. His name was Zig Ziglar. He's long since passed away, and he always talked about positive thinking. Positive thinking. What's the difference between positive thinking and negative thinking? If you go into a project, if you walk onto your field of life, your field of action, if you're working on something with a positive mindset, it's going to help you accomplish way more of that task or that game or whatever it is that you're working on in your life than a negative mindset will. Why? Because even if you don't accomplish it with a positive mindset, you know that if you fail at something, you're gonna learn from it. So next time when it happens, when you get another shot, you're gonna do it better. So positive thinking, can positive thinking do the job for you? No, but it can help you do the job better. Another thing, family. Let's get deep. Let's get deep here. Family. What? Okay, immediate family. Dad, mom, siblings, maybe aunts and uncles. Who are those people? We live in a world today where a lot of us grow up without a dad. He might live across town or picked up and created another family and moved away. What does that do to your mindset? When you're born, you're not born with any of these things. You're born as a whiteboard, like a whiteboard, a chalkboard, a dry erase board. It's white. It's nothing. There's nothing in there. Sure, you get some things that's passed down genetically to you from your parents, but other than that, your character has to be learned. It has to be taught. It has to be groomed. And if you're completely zero, and the things that start to come in. So in my life, where I come from, there was a lot of bad things coming in. So we're talking about honesty. Are you an honest person? If you're not an honest person, I don't care if, let's just say you're working on something and 98% of it, or you're telling a story, you're talking to somebody and 98% of it is truth, and then that last 2% you throw in a little bit of a lie, then you're not an honest person. Your character's not great. So you've got to be honest. Even in the hard times, you've got to be honest for yourself, just like a kid. You know, when you get in trouble and you do something, your parents ask you, typically a kid's response is, I didn't do that. Well, that's where learning, that's where your parents have to teach you that that's not right. They have to reprimand you some way to teach you that honesty, you got to tell me, even if you broke it, even if you did it, you did wrong, you have to be honest. So honesty. The next one is responsibility. I've got down here, never place the blame. It is your duty to do the right thing. Are you afraid to fail? Where I was blessed, this football taught me how to deal with failure and handle failure, and I had no idea of it. Then, you know, as I got older and read and started looking at things, I learned more about failure. But most people are. If I was in your shoes at your time and someone asked me, was I afraid to fail, I would have raised my hand. My response would have been yes. Yes, I'm afraid to fail. The next question I asked, what happens to us when we fail? Well, what happens to you when we fail, physically or mentally? Physically, nothing. When you fail physically of doing something, nothing happens, because if it was in sports, the pain you have or whatever, it was going to happen. It's all psychological. It's all mental. So what happens to us when we fail, I wrote down some things. We cry, we hurt, we retreat. Our self-esteem decreases. You get mentally weaker. We fold up the tent and we shut down. That's what happens. And when you're afraid to fail, when you're afraid of failure, you know what you're also afraid to do? You're afraid to try. You're afraid to do. You're afraid to take the next step. And I don't want you to be that. Growth is a lifelong process. Think about a teacher. A teacher can teach for 30 years. But does that mean they have 30 years of experience? A police officer can be a police officer for 20 to 30 years. But does that mean they have the 30 years of experience if they stop growing at year 8? If they stop bettering themselves, they stop educating themselves, they stop associating with the right people? Growth is a lifelong process. And I believe, too, that keeps you living, that keeps you inspired, that keeps you... Goal setting. Why? Why do you need goals? Guys, listen, without goals, you have no direction. I call it getting T-boned. Getting T-boned, definition of T-bone. Harvie's definition of getting T-boned. You're going along in life and something hard hits you. You get cancer, kidney cancer. You have to remove that cancer. A few months before you got the kidney cancer, you got not even a few months, but a few days before the kidney cancer, you had just had shoulder surgery. So you get shoulder surgery, then you have kidney cancer. Then you find out that you have to have this kidney removed. You wait 3 months to have this kidney removed and have all kinds of negative things going through your head. Then after your kidney has been removed, you got to recover. Then you find out that your other kidney is not working as well, and you got to figure that out. Then you get pneumonia in the process. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, as you're watching this video at this time in my life, however many years later or whenever you watch this video, I'm just getting over pneumonia, which is a side effect of kidney cancer. That's called getting T-boned. That's called having something hit you pretty hard in life and getting knocked down. I didn't get knocked down, first of all, because of the material I'm sharing with you. Going through life with a brother, you're in college, T-bone moment. Most people without a dream, most people without a plan, when they get up, if they truly ever get up, they walk around in a circle of life. Their heads down, they're just walking around. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to live. They don't have a plan because they didn't have goals. They weren't great self-leaders to begin. Me a direction. So when you get up from being T-boned, you dust yourself off, and then you can move forward. Then you can move forward in life. You dust yourself off. So that's why you've got to be a goal setter. You've got to set goals.